Well, hello there. My name's Steve Ritchie. I'm a steel sculptor from Ashford in Kent. I'm also a motorcyclist, and due to the initial lockdown, I thought it was coming, but we weren't properly locked down. But in the meantime, I stripped my bike out. So GS1100G, imported from Canada. Imported from Canada, obviously from Japan. Japanese-made Jap bike. Expensive bike in its day. I bought it second hand in the early 90s, and you can tell why it's an expensive bike because it's so well built. I sold it to this fella for a little while who loved it and cleaned it with a toothbrush and put new hoses on it, and then I bought it back. Yeah, just a great bike. I could have loved it a little bit more, certainly. I've always kept it topped up with oils, always made sure it was roadworthy and all the rest of it. But I've never been a big cleaner of stuff, and I was quite happy for this to look a little bit cheesy, a little bit, yeah, Knight Rider, Mad Max one, I don't know, dusty. I don't mind about dusty, it's good, it means it's been ridden. But you still need to look after them. And I've driven all sorts of other bikes, and I've had opportunities to have a play with all sorts of toys, but to be honest, I always come back to my own bike. It's just suited to me. And hey, look, I'm 57 and I'm still alive because I ride pretty sensibly one way or another. It's more, that bike can go faster than I can. But it needs looking after, so I started stripping it down. Now, if you're going to strip a bike like this down, it's made up of many component parts, and unless you're stripping down Suzukis on a regular basis, don't be fooled or that you're going to remember everything. You're not. Take lots of pictures. Cameras are dead easy now. Digicameras can take 1,000 pictures if you want. And that's exactly what I've done. Don't be frightened of labelling things either. I'm a qualified tradesman, but I still label up. I also refer to the manual as well. There might be some incidents you come across while you're reading the manual that you're thinking, I need to take that off before that, otherwise I'll damage this. So get the manuals out. I'm not going to tell you to suck eggs. At the end of the day, this is a valuable machine. I don't want to ruin it, and even in the case of stripping it apart, I'm not going to rush and throw myself into this. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to make sure everything comes. But truth is, everything came apart on this. I think I broke 2 studs. Nothing, and expected to break a couple of studs. Maybe there was 3, but no more than that. And that was kind of expected. It's been a long time since this has been apart, and it had been stored for a while. I had repaired the tank a few years ago. I needed to because it was like a colander, and so that's all been lined out and loved and looked after. But it was time to give this a full strip down and check. We need to check the bores here. We need to check certain things. Certainly the timing chain, it's on its last adjustment, that wants replacing. And while we're stripping, we're also writing things down, i.e. the bits we need to make this lovely again. And don't be frightened. A bike of this size and this age, you're going to spend a little bit of money to get it on the road. I think it was touching 1,500–1,600 quid by the time I finished paying for all the bits. And look, don't be frightened to spend a little bit of money, particularly on gaskets. Don't be frightened to spend a little bit extra money on valve guides and things. Buying old gasket sets, they might have been stuck on the shelf for 30 years and the rubbers aren't going to be 100%. So, there are certain places you need to spend some extra money. There's some pictures come up in a minute and it has a faded background telling you where I got my bits from. I'm not paid by these people, but at the end of the day, I shopped around and I pretty much got 90% of my bits all from the same place. Okay, and the service was great and very nice people. And don't be frightened, the chances are you're likely to put 2 orders in and get clobbered for 2 delivery charges, because that's the way things are. I tried my very best to order everything in one hit, but as I was reassembling, I came across some other things that I hadn't seen the first time around. And this is the other thing, keep yourself tidy, put things in boxes, put it in the set, whatever brackets went with that, unless you're super familiar with your bike and you've stripped it 100 times, don't be daft. It'll save you loads of times if you can find all the right bits. And obviously they're all separate little projects. Every single component wants inspecting of some kind and possibly repairing. And that seat and that seat cover is ripped and soggy and not very nice. The foam's not very nice underneath either, so I know that needs a bit of love and care. And in fact, I'll make a separate program trying to get the seat repaired. That was a bit of fun for all sorts of reasons. Now, so what I've managed to do is strip all this out, get my frame off to the powder coaters, and get it back. And literally the day I got my frame back, the following day we went into lockdown, full lockdown. So I now have to do the grisly bit, which is spending the money and chonking your way through endless pictures like a good storeman would, and possibly enjoy. But it was good to get the frame back, and I've got a bench and I've got a qualified guy to give me a hand. I have been sidelined a number of times on other people's bikes and even made custom bits, which believe you me, makes you no money whatsoever. Even though this chap got charged quite a lot of money, and he paid his bill very promptly as well. It's just not that. It's big jewellery. And anyway, I sort of digress a little bit about working on other things. But anyway, I'm on my own bike now. I'm kind of looking forward to it, to being together. And I don't want to waste any time. But yeah, we're in lockdown now. So I found myself locked in my house. I don't know. I can't tell you how many hours I spent. A good few hours. I don't know, it was over a period of a week as well. I had to get sort of dipping into it, you know. And oh, the other thing is my logbook had the wrong number to my actual number on my frame. That caused some difficulties identifying my bike for a little while, but I unravelled it once the frame had come back from the powder coaters, and I inspected it, and yeah, easy mistake, very similar letters, yeah. But that made a bit of a grief. But I tell you what, the parts list was now starting to do my heading, and obviously your bill's going up. And before I went completely mad, I got to the end, and then forgot to do anything on the carburettor. I'd stripped the carburettor, very last thing, and realised there was a bag of bits needed for that as well. So that was a separate journey back down the parts list. So all good fun. Like I say, about 1,500 quid, maybe a little bit more. 1,600 quid, can't remember the final bill, be honest, but it's quite a bit. I had a second-hand carb that had some springs and some things that I did actually manage to change over. They were compatible, but everything else I had to buy, and not that much. But now I'm going back to the workshop. I've got my bits, have all turned up. No one's been in the workshop for quite a while now. I've gone to work in my camper, so I can take my own toilet, so I'm not going to share any space, except I'll work alone in this workshop with my motorbike. And then a ramp, and then I got into a bubble with the guy that helped me build the bike, so I didn't do it all by myself. But here we are. I've crept my way back into the workshop, and yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of bizarre. The garages are shut, there's no planes flying everywhere. You remember what it was like last year? It was kind of weird, wasn't it? But we all got over it, and we found a way of controlling the corona by wearing our masks and washing our hands and ducking and weaving. And yeah, so next time, just to give you a little glimpse of what the bike might look like, but next time I'm going to be looking at the carburetors and looking at the way I repaired the seat. Keeping in mind, I helped to run a textile department for 10 years, so I've been around a few sewing machines. And here's one that we repaired. So 3 or 4 years ago, this sewing machine was put in a shed, and it's been there ever since. So we're going to see, after doing a bit of dusting off and a bit of looking around, whether it works. It's a bit quiet. Oh, clutch is working. Right. Yeah, let's do it.
Slow to start.
Slurpy, slurpy. They are. 100-year-old machine, no issues there whatsoever. Okay. Needs a little bit of love.
Yeah.
But not much.
Ready to rock.